We are today in chapter 11, humble, not passive. A leader must be humble enough to listen, accept feedback, and admit mistakes, but never so passive that the team loses direction or confidence. Humility is a strength, not a weakness. Passive leadership is just as dangerous as ego-driven leadership. Stay open to input, stay hungry for feedback, and never confuse to being humble with being a pushover. When the team is drifting or underperforming, a humble leader doesn't stay quiet to avoid conflict. They speak up because the mission demands it. Always be willing to do the hard thing, even when it's uncomfy.
Uncomfy.
I like that. A little uncomfy.
Because it revisited
Chapter 9, chapter 10.
yeah, it talked about leading up the chain a little bit, which I thought was cool because it kind of tells you when to push back and also to pick your battles, you know?
Yeah, and having that ability to like accept when you're overruled, right? And it's a two-way street. It's definitely one of those situations where you have to be open to hearing the feedback as the person who's ultimately going to make the decision. Um, you have to be open to listening to it, but I think, like Sandy said, you got to stay focused on the mission, and then you have to make decisions based on what's best for the mission, not what's best for you or your feelings, right? And a lot of times it's easy to get hung up in that feeling state, wanting to be like, I don't really want to deal with this. Maybe it's uncomfortable. Maybe it's bad timing, whatever the excuse may be, right? Got to follow through the whole way through the communication cycle. And you can't just dismiss your team and their opinions, because at the end of the day, we all should be working towards the same goal. So it would only make sense that we listen to each other, right?
Yeah, there's a bit of that cry wolf dynamic in this one where it's like, yeah, if you push back on, like he talked about submitting serialized inventories of all their gears and all their gear and stuff like that. And if you push back on every little thing, the value of your pushback goes basically to zero because they kind of expect it. But if you do all the things they ask of you and then pick one that, I mean, when it really matters, your objection carries more weight.
Yeah, for sure. Right. It's like you said, if every time you're asked to do something, you're like, oh, I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to push back, then you start to lose credibility essentially over time.
That's true.
Oh, I could see a Karen on the approach here. So one of the things that, and it just came to mind was, we haven't really visited our core values or our vision in a while. So that's something that maybe, we should as a team go back to that. And I don't know, is Friday when's our next marketing huddle, Sandy?
On Friday, yeah.
Okay. So maybe Friday we can have a little more, review our mission statement and our vision statement and our core values, just so we get refocused on things that drive us towards the same goal. Because I think a lot of what they're talking about here is that understanding of the primary objective, right? And what do we stand for? And if we're making decisions inside those bounds, then it should lead to less confusion and less confrontation, over the course of the years.
Yes, sir.
Is that meeting on the calendar, or will it be?
It shall be. Because we also have another one just for content creation or like brainstorming, which I will also include everyone.
Okay. Cool.
Of course.
So the real world example was software being rolled out and not working, and team members bringing it up to the CEO, right? And then him not really listening to them when they brought it up, but them not pushing. And he used an example of Napoleon Bonaparte, his rules. Like if you get an order that you don't want to follow, you shouldn't follow a bad order. You should resign your post and move on. And that's like the honorable way to do it. And I thought that was interesting about, like, if you really, you need to make your point, and you shouldn't carry out bad directives.
Yeah, and it's everybody's responsibility if you feel strongly about something to go through the process of talking it out. And even I think it was Leif, had even said, he's like, okay, well, I got to be ready to quit on this one. Like, if I have to quit because I can't deal with because I don't agree with this, I've got to be ready and willing to go to that extreme. And, if you feel that passionately about it. So, um, I think, for me, I think that, this just brings, I don't think there's anything that we're like, oh, we're so deficient on anything, but it is an opportunity to kind of regroup and refocus, especially with this time of change, right? We got George out, so I'll be around less. We're gonna have to make some decisions um, as a team, and we're gonna have, I think, more opportunity to have um, I don't know the right way to say it, but we're gonna have more opportunity to have more, to gain greater separation because of proximity, right? If one of the team members isn't around as much as they normally are, we're not talking as much as we normally do. It's easy to kind of start to see a spread uh, in the communication or a gap, right? So it's just, for me, I think it's an awareness that we're there's a lot of dynamics in play right now with what we're doing, and all of our different team members, including Brett's guys, the people we work with at Deacon, all the other subcontractors that we're working with. There's a lot of moving parts now, and it's critical that we all stay in good communication with each other.
Yeah.
That is correct. For how long will you be going up there? You said 2 weeks?
Well, let's just assume that for the next 2 weeks, it's going to be a bit tight.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
All right. Anybody got anything they want to add?
It looked like we got like one more chapter after this. Maybe it's the final chapter or something.
I think it stops in chapter 12, right?
Oh.
Minutes left, it says here, so I don't know what that means, but
So we got to come up with a new book.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, chapter 12, folks, but attached, then you got the afterword and all those like closing remarks.
So we should just finish this one on this next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I agree.
Copy.
Cool.
Copy noted.
All right. Well, let's before next week, let's have some nominations for next book.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Sounds good.
Cool, guys. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.